Hi, I'm Charlie from Organic English. In this lesson, we're going to be talking about stative verbs or state verbs. Hi, I'm Charlie. Welcome to Organic English. I'm here to help you become more fluent in English. In this video, I'm going to be talking about stative verbs, also known as state verbs. I'm going to explain what they are, how to use them, and I'll also give you plenty of examples to help you put everything in context. Take a look in the description below. I'll put a link to a transcript which you can download to help you follow along with this lesson. I'll also put a link to a document with all the stative verbs in, which you can also download to help you study. I'll also put a link to a short quiz which you can do to help you check your understanding. In English, there are two groups of verbs: stative verbs and action verbs. Most verbs are action verbs. Action verbs describe things we do or things that happen. Verbs like go, kick, watch, and rain. These are all action verbs. And we can use them in any tense we want. Past, present, future, perfect, passive, continuous, all of them. For example, Jack is playing football. The sun rose at 6 o'clock this morning. Stative verbs are different because we don't usually use them in a continuous tense. We don't use stative verbs in tenses that end with ing. So what are stative verbs? There are three main types. The first type is verbs that describe feelings and attitudes. Some examples are love, hate, fear, like, prefer. For example, what's this song? I really like it. Here I'm talking about what I like now, but I don't say I'm really liking it. That's because I'm liking it is the present continuous, and we don't usually use present continuous with stative verbs. Usually. There are some exceptions, and I'll talk about those later. The general rule is that we use present simple for verbs of feeling. Those are things like love, like, hate. Now the second type of stative verb. That's verbs of thinking. These are verbs like think, know, understand, believe. Here are some examples. I can't believe Jack's dad died. I remember he was so strong and healthy. Here I'm using the simple present tense with the verbs believe and remember. You can't use them in the continuous. Now the third group of stative verbs are the verbs that describe senses. Here we're talking about verbs like see, smell, hear, taste. Here's an example. What are you cooking? It smells delicious. You probably noticed I said it smells, not it's smelling. So those are the three main types of stative verbs. There are some other common stative verbs that don't fall into those groups. For example, have, own, belong, want, need, mean, cost, seem, appear, and wish. That's quite a long list of verbs to remember. So here's a handy tip. One way to decide if a verb is stative or not is to think to yourself, does it describe an action? Now if it doesn't, it's a stative verb. Now a few verbs can have two meanings. In one meaning, they are an action verb, so you can use them in the present continuous. But in the other meaning, they're stative verbs, so you can't use a continuous tense. For example, the verb look. He looks a lot like his mother. Here, looks is a state. We're talking about his appearance, not his actions. He's looking out of the window. Here, he's doing something. Looking is an action verb. Another example, see. Can you see those birds? The doctor's seeing a patient at the moment. Another example, think. I think she's really pretty. I'm thinking about my next holiday right now. Take a look in the description below. I'll put a link to a document with a list of all the stative verbs and the ones that have both meanings, stative and action. And you can download those to help you study. Now, do you remember when I said it's wrong to say I'm really liking it because it's the present continuous? Well, you might actually hear this expression in informal spoken English. I'm really liking it. Or you might also hear other expressions such as, oh, I'm really hating this movie. I don't know if you remember, there was a famous fast food restaurant that had the slogan, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Now, these aren't grammatically correct sentences, but we use them day to day in everyday English. So, to recap, there are two types of English verbs. Action verbs and stative verbs. Action verbs describe things we do or things that happen, and we use stative verbs to talk about attitudes, thoughts, senses, and belonging. Most stative verbs are not used in the continuous form. That's with ing at the end. One way to decide if a verb is stative or not is to ask yourself, does it describe an action? If it doesn't, it's probably a stative verb. Great job. Now you can also go to my website, organicenglish.club, where you'll find plenty of other resources to help you become more fluent in English. Please also subscribe to my newsletter. Subscribers will get mini lessons, cheat sheets, and video updates direct to the inbox. Don't forget to look in the description below. I'll put a link to a transcript, a document with the stative verbs, and a short quiz which will help you practice and also check your understanding. Thank you very much for watching. Now go out and practice your English.